Good morning, everyone. Recorded by Richter, back with a brand new music segment for you. As promised on my channel on a few of the shorts that I had put up last week, that I would get to doing this review of the Clipse concert. I just saw Clipse downtown Detroit with my two best friends, E-Man and Sean. We went and saw them at the Masonic Temple, which is an incredible legendary venue down there. If you don't know any of the story and the history behind it, it was actually set to close because it was doing bad years ago and owed a bunch of back tax money, and Jack White stepped in and paid off the back taxes so that it could stay open, because that's where his mom worked at when he was a kid, and a lot of the legendary White Stripes concerts were there. I saw the White Stripes on the Elephant Tour there back when I was in high school, and that's where I was actually able to meet Jack White. So I think they renamed the theater that we saw Clipse in the Jack White Theater. So that is a pretty cool thing. And so Sean and I and E-Man and I, we all went down there, and it was a little bit of a hectic day for me because I've started a new job where the hours are gonna be, working into the evening a little bit. So I kind of had to go right from work downtown to the concert. But luckily I was able to get into the venue just before Earth Gang came on. Earth Gang is the opener for Clipse at this show, and I didn't even know that they were supposed to open till like the day of. So that was like an incredible surprise, because I love Earth Gang. I think they're a really, really talented group. And if you're unfamiliar with Earth Gang is a rap duo out of Atlanta, Georgia, very much influenced by Outkast. They are very unique in that sense, and they're very animated, great storytellers, and they can do interesting things with their vocals. And they're also a part of Dreamville, which is J. Cole's label. So it was really cool to be able to see them. We had really great seats, because when Clipse announced the tour back in July, when Let God Sort 'Em Out came out, I jumped on it immediately. And the way that the venue is set up is it's kind of like it's a theater venue. So you have seats that go all the way up to the front, and then there's this small little floor section, and I got the fourth row in the seats. So we were like just behind the floor section in a little like seated area, which was dope. I mean, obviously everyone was standing when the concert starts, but it was like the perfect little spot. We had amazing seats. I'll post lots of video footage into this. In fact, I'll put one right here so you can see what it looks like of Earth Gang.
Put a foot up that ass, you a stepping stone. All my niggas ain't getting no sleep. All of my niggas be chasing their dreams. See, I was forced to nature. I can't wait to nature. I was having problems till I had a breakthrough on my top. People sure they ain't never for show. Tap to them two till your hoe get the dust with my time. Make a lot of your thoughts. Don't get it out of me slow. Your mind is a recipe. I'm a right to teach. I take all the challenge and I'm here. I was down here. Now I'm here. And I'm here. And everybody thinking, let's go. I was just fucked up. I was down, bad. I had to type of fuck up. But I've been for the crime, whoa. I was just fucked up. I was down, bad. I had to type of fuck up. But I'm here for the make some noise.
And anyhow, so I get off work, head down, meet up with Sean and E-Man. Earth Gang starts, everything's great. Earth Gang probably played for about a half an hour to 45 minutes. And then after that, it was time for Clipse. And, I wanted to acknowledge this. Let me pull up my computer real quick just so I make sure. Yeah, Yo Q. So first, Clipse's DJ came out, DJ Yo Q. And I wanted to make sure that I acknowledged him, because he was incredible. Clipse is very lucky to have him on their tour with him, because not only did he warm up the crowd with a few great bangers, he played some Biggie, get the crowd warmed up, and then he brings Clipse out. This video montage starts rolling in the background, all these different kind of jarring and political, some social imagery going on in the back. And then all of a sudden you hear the Chains and Whips beat start, and then one by one they come out. First Push comes out and raps his verse, And then Malice comes out and raps his verse, and man, this Detroit crowd erupted for them. They went crazy. And it was really, really awesome to see that type of energy in the building. You could tell Pusha T felt it. He was really, really happy about the response that they got. And so, you know, they come out, they do chains and whips, and they run through some of their Let God Sort 'Em Out material, and they go into some of their old material too. They did Mr. Me Too and, you know, some stuff from their older albums. And I guess I should pump the brakes a little bit, because if you're watching this and you're not a Clipse fan, let me just really run their history a little bit. So Clipse is a duo, two brothers from Virginia, best friends with Pharrell. Pharrell and the Neptunes have basically worked with Clipse their entire career. They formed in 1994, but their first album wouldn't come out till 2002. And Clipse consists of Pusha T and Malice, who are brothers. Pusha T is the younger brother of Malice, and you know, Malice hasn't had any music out in like 16 years. That's the last time a Clipse project came out. And Pusha T's been working this whole time, but we haven't heard anything from Malice for a long time. So to see the response he got from the Detroit crowd, man, when Malice came out and started repping his verse, the place went crazy. And they just looked amazing. They looked like stars to me. So as someone that goes to a ton of concerts, this is like the second tier of how I measure the artists that I'm a big fan of. You know, the first tier is their catalog, obviously. That's what's gonna get me to the show in the first place. And the second is what they do live. I have seen some people that have incredible albums just totally suck live. It's interesting. Sometimes you can see who's a seasoned vet and who is meant to do this and who is not really cut out for the live aspect of it. And that was the first time in a while at a rap show that I'd felt like, holy crap, I'm watching stars right now. These guys looked awesome. They sounded larger than life. Like, I really felt like I was seeing some superheroes on stage. That's kind of the presence that they have. You know, they just, like, the whole package is presented so well. And I can't say enough good things about Yo Q. So shout out to their DJ. Not only did he bring them out in an awesome fashion, he knew all of their lyrics. I mean, he was doubling up on pushing Malice's vocals at certain times to give it that extra dramatic push. And I think it just worked out so well. Sometimes DJs can sound kind of yelly, and he wasn't that. Like, he actually sounded good performing on the mic alongside Push and Malice. So shout out to Yo Q. I thought you were incredible as well. But you know, they run through a lot, mostly new material. You had a few songs from their older stuff, but mostly new material, which I was actually okay with, because I was telling Sean and E-Man before the show even started, I'm like, if they just Let God Sort 'Em Out top to bottom and then did like a few Lucy's at the end, I'd be satisfied. And that's almost in a sense what they did. You know, they did POV, they did Rico or FICO, they did a bunch of different stuff, and it was awesome to hear the crowd singing all their stuff back, responding to all the call and response stuff. Push kept saying album of the year and having us say easy, and then, you know, we did that quite a few times, and that was a lot of fun. And yeah, man, it was a wonderful experience. It was very short. That's the only thing that I'll say. If you're one that likes long concerts, you might have been a little disappointed because it was just over an hour. It was about an hour 10. But honestly, for what their stuff is, it kind of worked perfectly. Because, you know, Let God Sort 'Em Out is a short but sweet album. It's, you know, 10 songs, 30 minutes. And so an hour felt okay to me. And also, I'm in my late 30s, so like, and a shorter show sometimes can be appreciated, especially after I'd been at work for a full day. So that was kind of nice to me. And they were so commanding on the vocals live too. Sometimes you see rappers unsure about themselves. Sometimes they cuff the microphone and make it sound muffled. Sometimes they'll rap over a backing track. No backing tracks for Push and Malice. They were rapping live, and they sounded just like the records, man. I mean, they sounded so good, and they had a lot of great imagery to go along in the background. One of the highlights for me is when they did Mike Tyson blow to the face. And they had
She want a Mike Tyson blow to the face. Twist and turn, he's gonna blitz and burn. Too many flips and turns, had to get rich to learn. The band, the ladies, so that's case closed. Got a group full of chain bones on their toes. Niggas easily, cheap and freezing, believe me. I can tell cause your bitches look easy. Mike Tyson, blow to the face. Slaughter ice, you want snow on a blade. Have price for the blows in the great feast. More ice for the moles in the ace.
Face, and they had all these different like a video montage and clips of Mike Tyson behind them. Or another really touching moment was when they did Birds Don't Sing, featuring John Legend and Stevie Wonder, which is a dedication to their parents. So it was awesome to see the collage of family photos of their mom and dad behind them. It really made the song like even more elevated emotionally, because that song can really cut you deep, especially if you've lost a parent. I unfortunately have not lost a parent yet, but both of my brothers that I was there with have, and so I know that probably hit them pretty hard. But yeah, Clipse, amazing live, and then I just kind of wanted to, before I moved on from this, talk about Let God Sort 'Em Out. So Let God Sort 'Em Out came out in July, and it had a stranglehold on me. That's all I wanted to listen to. I was constantly playing that, and it was like it was the first time in a while I had been like locked in on an album like that. Sometimes, a lot of stuff will come out. We get overloaded with music every Friday. And sometimes you listen to like something once and then you don't go back to it for a while. When that came out, I felt like I was back to my CD days where I was just over and over and over. As soon as it ended, I wanted to listen to it again. And, I listened to it basically all July. And then, we've had a crazy 2025 for music releases. So I started moving on to other stuff. Then that concert happened, and then it's like right back to wanting to listen to Let God Sort 'Em Out constantly on a loop again. Like, that album has crack in it or something. It is just so good, and it's definitely in my album of the year contender spot. There's a few that I've talked about on here: the McKinley-Dixon, the Little Sims Lotus, Let God Sort 'Em Out, Yukimi For You, Tundi's The Black Bolts. There's a bunch that have been kind of bouncing around in my head as the album of the year for 2025, but man, there's none of them that I've been playing as often as I've played this Clipse project. It's actually right here, I got it. It's kind of funny. So I used to live with Sean and E-Man, the two guys that I went to the concert with, and they sometimes, for whatever reason, when I order records, every once in a while it'll get shipped to my old address, which Sean still lives at. And so a couple of my records, that IDK album back there and this Let God Sort 'Em Out, had been shipped out to his place in Detroit. And so I went back to his place after the show with him and picked up my records before I went home. And so it's nice to finally able to bust out the vinyl. I got in on this is the very first pressing of this. So it's actually, I don't know if I want to open it, honestly, because it's not the same as the final copy. I don't think So Be It's on here because of sample clearance, and I think like there's some other like weird things that are not on how the final product came out on streaming. So this is first pressing, baby. I got in on that quick. I'm a big fan of ordering vinyl when I see that first announcement come out. So I'm pretty excited to have this, and I'm very excited to have that IDK one. I'm going to cut a full-length video on IDK soon too, because not nearly enough people talk about him, and he's incredible too. But Clipse, another highlight was, even though they're the singles, So Be It was insane live.
When I was born, grandmama could see it. I've been building, tripping, and very strategic. heart in the sleeve, no diamonds are needed. Flaws ain't needed, so be it, so be it. Fucking with P, get something to meet you. You so don't like your body, we help you free it. Then we wait for TMT to leak it. It ain't no secret, so be it, so be it. Put it up, put it up, put it up, put it up slow. Put it up, come on, so be it, so be it. Bounce, bounce, put it up slow. Bounce, come on, so be it. So CNIP, SEFB, LV. I can show you how.
Ace Trumpets, man, Ace Trumpets live sounded so good, and you know everyone was dying to scream out, "Yellow diamonds look like pee-pee." You know everyone was waiting for that, but yeah, Clipse, amazing concert. I highly recommend if you're seeing this in a different state and if their tour hasn't gotten there yet, go see it. Actually, Clipse, I just saw a video on social media. They were the first to perform at the Vatican. They just had a concert at the Vatican, which is crazy to me. They were all decked out in suits. They had a full symphony orchestra behind them. Amazing. Those guys are true vets. Malice might be rap artist of 2025, quite honestly. His verses on all of that, amazing. His verses on the JID project, incredible. Which also JID is in a group with the openers, Earth Gang, Spillage Village. They got that with them. But it's been a hell of a year for rap releases, so I'm pretty stoked about it. And I've got the shirt on here from Anderson .Paak. I think I'm going to try to go see him on Saturday with Knowledge, do their No Worries music together, because Anderson .Paak concerts are another one. I've done reviews on him for the channel as well that are just outstanding. So that's what I got for you today. I hope everybody is enjoying this awesome music year that we've had so far, and I will be back with plenty more of this music talk for you soon. All right? Peace.